Hello, good morning to everyone who are joining us today. Okay, welcome again to all school students, to all teachers, parents, and everyone from all around Malaysia, not only from Sabah. Okay, not forgetting to all UMS students and also UMS staff who are present in our session 3S STEM Speaker Series for today. Thank you again for your support and welcome. Today we meet again in our session with a new guest speaker from Institute of Borneo Research Marine Research Institute. Okay, so for those who are joining us for the first time, this STEM speaker series is actually a co-joint effort between Borneo Marine Research Institute and also EU Science UMS, which is aimed to deliver a unique and also interesting STEM topics designed for by the subject matter experts, which are our academicians and our researchers, who are the subject matter experts, who aim to increase the interest of all school students, all teachers and community alike to actually venture out in the fields of science, technology, engineering, and also in mathematics as well. So just to inform all audiences today, if you do have any questions throughout the session, please type out your questions in the chat box, YouTube live chat box on your right hand side, and we will read out your questions later for the speakers to give their opinions and also their answers for your question. Yeah. Okay, so also please wait until the end of the program to wait for the QR code or the link which we will provide for the e-certificate or e-sigil for all participants today from all over Malaysia. Just fill in your details, make sure your email and also your full name is there, and we make sure it is the correct address. Yeah. And then we will share at the end of the program. So just stay tuned with us. All right, until the end of the program. So we will give a brief introduction of our guest speaker for today. Okay, so with us is a very interesting and a very credible lecturer and also researcher from Borneo Marine Research Institute. He is also a very well-known academician by the name of Prof. Associate Prof. BA VENMATHI MARAN. So a brief introduction on Dr. Maran. He is actually a specialist in the field of aquaculture and also marine science. And Dr. Maran actually received his undergraduate and also his postgraduate degrees from the Department of Zoology, the American College in Madurai, and PhD in marine aquaculture from Hiroshima University, Japan. Okay, he also worked as a postdoctoral and associate professor at Hiroshima University and continued his research on parasitology, toxicology, microbiology, and also jellyfish ecology, which he will present today. All right. His research on marine fish parasites in aquaculture and its biocontrol mechanism using natural products, that is his research. And then in addition, Dr. Maran also intensively studies the biodiversity and ecology of jellyfish in Malaysia with a focus on harmful jellyfish, right? Dr. Maran also received 3 gold medals in 2019 and 2020 from University Malaysia Sabah for his research and innovation on a novel approach to control fish parasites in aquaculture, and also his discovery of a new species of jellyfish from Kota Kinabalu. So it's very interesting, Dr. Maran's research. And this year alone, to 2021, Dr. Maran has received silver medal from Malaysian Technology Expo 2021 with a special merit award from Croatia International Organization for his product to control fish parasites. So Dr. Maran is definitely not a stranger to the academic and research field in aquaculture and marine science. So without further ado, I would like to invite Prof to start on his presentation today on jellyfish, Boon or Bane. Okay, Prof, please be invited, Prof. Thank you.
Good morning to everyone. I am VENMATHI MARAN. I am working as Associate Professor at Borneo Marine Research Institute, University Malaysia Sabah. Today I am going to talk about the jellyfish. My title is Jellyfish, which is a boon or bane. What are jellyfish? Jellyfish, they are living in the ocean. They are not fish, but they can be called as plankton. And their size is less than 1 millimeter to 2.5 meter long, which is a boon, and they have tentacles. And some of the species tentacles, they can get up to 50 meter long. Such a long tentacles they have. And some jellyfish, they weigh up to 200 kilograms. So one particular species that is called Nomurai, which is found in Pacific Ocean and in the Sea of Japan. They can get up to this jellyfish is belonging to the phylum Cnidaria, and the other animals they are sharing in this phylum is corals and sea animals. So one particular species that is called jellyfish is comprised of 98% of water, and their color is transparent brown. They may glow in the dark. And finally, I can tell you that jellyfish, they don't have brain, no heart, no bones or gills, but still they survive in the water. 98% of water. In the evolution record, the jellyfish appeared on Earth during the Cambrian period, that is about 500 million years ago. From this period, Cnidarian medusae, they might exhibit seasonal blooms as evidenced by fossilized stranded medusae. But recently, we can see a lot of jellyfish that is blooming and population outbreaks everywhere in the world. In general way, I can tell you that the body of jellyfish, which is comprised of gelatinous layers of cells, that is two layers. One is outer layer epidermis and inner layer is gastrodermis. And the mesoglia, that is the upper part of the jellyfish, it is found between the two layers, and also we have jellyfish has stomach, intestines, and which is connected to the opening. And they have oral arms, which is used to transport the food from the tentacles. So jellyfish are called as gelatinous zooplankton, and it is coming under the phylum Cnidaria because it possesses cnidocysts, which is similar to corals and sea anemones. About 11,000 species of animals are found in phylum Cnidaria. And another phylum called Ctenophora, it is also having the jellyfish that is called as comb jelly. It doesn't have any cnidocysts. So about 150 species are so far been reported. This is the structure of the cnidocyst. Phylum Cnidaria, it has three subphylum, three classes under the subphylum Medusazoa. The classes are the first one, Hydrozoa, Scyphozoa, and Cubozoa. So Hydrozoa, about 3,500 species are there, and Scyphozoa, about 220 species are there, and Cubozoans, about 40 species are reported. So now we would like to know the jellyfish, which is found abundantly in the open water, which is a boon or bane or good or evil, whatever it is, we have to know about that. In the case of it is a good, it is needed, and it is a boon. If you say like that, we can say the jellyfish are having delicacy. In lot of restaurants, they are using jellyfish as a food. So many are fond of eating this jellyfish food. Okay, so these jellyfish which play a vital role in the ocean's ecosystem. They are acting as a nursery for young crabs, brittle stars, as well as source of food for certain megafauna like sunfish and sea turtles. So we can say it is a good one in the open ecosystem. And also it is good for the export purpose. A lot of economy can be generated, and also it has a lot of medicinal value. And sometimes it is used for the decoration and entertainment purposes. So I said about the associated organisms. I mean, a lot of young animals, they are considering the jellyfish as a nursery. You can say this kind of interesting animation of good in the name of good jellyfish. You can see this is a Chinese cuisine. Very fond of people are very fond of eating this jellyfish. So there are about 11 species of jellyfish in 5 families are reported from the Asian waters. Like it was reported in 2001. So the common one everywhere we are doing is, people are eating is Ropilema esculentum, which is the common jellyfish which is edible. So these jellyfish are large and considerably tough and rigid with a thick umbrella. That's why people are very fond of eating it. In the world are about 30 species, more than 30 species are considered as edible. And most of the species are found in Asian countries, Taiwan, Philippines, Malaysia, Australia, Pakistan, Indonesia, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, Indonesia, Thailand. So many species are considered as edible from the Asian countries. You can see here. And as per the 2011, China is dominating in the export of jellyfish. And next is like Indonesia and Thailand. They are also playing major role in the export of jellyfish. So processing plant is very popular everywhere in Asian countries. And next one, it also has medicinal value. As I said regarding the medicine, Aquaria victoria, that is the jellyfish which is having the substance called aquarin, which is emitting the blue light, which is absorbed by another protein and making the green light. So it is called green fluorescent protein, which was extracted from jellyfish Aquaria victoria by Dr. Shimomura and other group of scientists. And for this research work, scientists got the Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 2008. And we have another important jellyfish, which is called immortal jellyfish. Okay, so it is a potentially immortal jellyfish species, is silently invading the oceans, swam by swam. So only one animal is known to have this remarkable ability of species of jellyfish is Turritopsis downi, which was first discovered in the 1880s in the Mediterranean Sea and highlighted as a uniquely enduring organism in the exhibition. So this fully grown Turritopsis, they begins life as a larva, which is called as a planula, and then which was developed from the fertilized egg. The planula swims at first and then settles on the seafloor and grows into a cylindrical colony of polyps. These ultimately spawn free-swimming, genetically identical medusae, the animals we recognize as jellyfish, which grow to adulthood in a matter of weeks. And this fully grown Turritopsis is about 4.5 millimeter in size. That is like smaller than a nail, we can say. A bright red stomach is available in the middle of its transparent bill, and edges are lined with up to 90 white tentacles. You can see here. These tiny transparent creatures have an extraordinary survival skill, though in response to physical damage or even starvation, they take a leap back in the developmental process, transforming back into a polyp. In a process that looks remarkably like immortality, the born again polyp colony eventually buds and releases medusae that are genetically identical to the injured adult. In fact, since this phenomenon was first observed in the 1990s, the species has come to be called the immortal jellyfish. And you can see in the entertainment purpose, like a lot of cartoon characters, are used in animation movies, in Japanese movies especially. And you can see the jellyfish which was helping the ponyo, to recover in the sea. And also SpongeBob, lot of jellyfish characters are used. It's very interesting for the children. And we have several kind of interesting jellyfish, which is in different colors of jellyfish. So just an example here: Turritopsis species, Nemopilema nomurai, Chrysora pacifica, Porpita porpita, Periphylla periphylla, and Physalia physalis. So different kind of jellyfish are in the ocean. You can see this is Sabah library, which is having this jellyfish, a decorated one. And I am going to show you a lot of jellyfish which was reported from Malaysia, especially from Sabah. So this is called blubber jellyfish, Catostylus townsendi. They form swam in coastal and shallow waters. They also sting, but it's like a small bite. It's not harmful at all. So people can eat it. People are eating it. So this is normally when you just see the jellyfish blooming, this blubber jellyfish you can observe quickly. And moon jellyfish, Aurelia aurita is a common moon jellyfish around the world, and we are having different kind of species. So a lot of research work is going on to identify clearly what is the name of the species. It is also stingless one, and it is a very common in aquarium trade and edible jellyfish. And another one is Lobonimoids robustus, which is having thick umbrella with pointed papillae, and they form swam in the water. You can see a lot of jellyfish, this Lobonimoids robustus, which is pink color in the ocean. And another one is flagellate jellyfish, that is called Acrometus flagellatus, which is commonly found in Sabah waters. And this is called Phylloraza punctata. People just collect it and keep it at the, you can take it to home, and you can keep it for a week. It will be surviving. Floating bell. And this is called Mastigia papua. So in daytime in shallow water, nighttime at seafloor, it will just go and sleep like this. Spotted lagoon jellyfish. And another one, this is a rare species, Anomalariza shavi. It is a pelagic jellyfish, rarely reported. Bluish tentacles. It was recently reported, so we published as a first record from Malaysia. And another one is like a crystal jellyfish, Aquaria species, pelagic hydrozoan. And this jellyfish, you can see, it's very interesting one. It looks like a cigar, so it is called as cigar jellyfish. The scientific name is Thysanostoma thysonura. It is also common in Sabah waters. Crampion species, this is called sea tomato jellyfish. They can form large aggregations. So last year, 2019 and 2020, it was found in Labuan and also in KK waters. So that was reported in a news channel. You can see this one.
Ribuan obor-obor merah yang jarang dilihat ditemui terdampar sepanjang pantai Mawila, lokasi perkelahan yang terkenal di Labuan sejak minggu lepas sehingga hari ini. Ramai tertanya-tanya bagaimana spesies unik itu boleh muncul di sepanjang kira-kira 400 meter pinggir pantai Mawila, dengan Jabatan Perikanan Labuan mengkategorikan kehadiran haiwan laut itu sebagai fenomena yang jarang berlaku. Kemunculan obor-obor juga menimbulkan persoalan seterusnya. Perlukah masyarakat takut dengannya? Dua pakar hidupan laut dari Jabatan Perikanan dan Universiti Malaysia Sabah UMS menjelaskan haiwan laut itu boleh menyebabkan kerengsaan kulit, alahan dan ketidakselesaan. Justru masyarakat dinasihati tidak menyentuh obor-obor walaupun telah mati. Fenomena ini dikaitkan dengan keadaan angin dan gelombang yang kuat ketika arus air laut China Selatan di Labuan menghala ke arah selatan menyebabkan obor-obor itu dihanyutkan ke perairan cetek berhampiran pantai. Obor-obor itu dikenal pasti oleh pakar di Institut Penyelidikan Marine Borneo UMS, Profesor Madya Dr. VENMATHI MARAN sebagai Crambion mastigofora atau lebih dikenali dengan nama sea tomato. Beliau berkata spesies ini tidak diketahui sama ada mempunyai sengatan yang berbahaya kepada manusia, tetapi tentakel masih boleh menyengat selepas haiwan itu mati. Oleh kerana obor-obor adalah perenang yang lemah, ini akan menyebabkan ia tidak dapat menahan alunan gelombang dan dengan itu dihanyutkan ke pantai. Sementara itu, Pengarah Jabatan Perikanan Labuan, Faizal Ibrahim Suhaili mengingatkan orang ramai untuk tidak masuk ke dalam air berhampiran lokasi obor-obor terdampar kerana kemungkinan masih terdapat kumpulan obor-obor di kawasan itu.
And you can see like the jellyfish, it looks like a food, it's a blueberry jellyfish. It looks like a blueberry and tomato-like jellyfish that is called sea tomatoes. And you can see the jellyfish looks like a fried egg. It's very some of the interesting jellyfish you can see in the water. And this is called crown jellyfish, Netrostoma species. So this is like a medium-sized jellyfish, purple or pink colored you can see. They have like a kind of crown, so it's called as like crown jellyfish. So it is very common in Japanese waters. Crabs are a very common one. Charybdis feriatus, which is often we report one. And you can see here, small fishes. It is a lactoris false trevally jellyfish, the fish which is found with the jellyfish. And we reported this work in the journal Regional Studies in Marine Science. And also you can see cauliflower jellyfish. It looks like cauliflower, and this is called flower hat. The Queen Elizabeth is having the flower hat, so that jellyfish is called as flower hat jellyfish. And sometimes we are getting reports from several sources like social websites. They are sharing the information about the jellyfish, and we follow that one. We try to identify, we collect the jellyfish. You can see this video.
嘛，叫我睇仔啊喂，幾時位啊？
So this is Lobodimoids robustus. You can see the same what you have seen in the water, same thing here. It weigh up to 6 kilogram. We found this one. We brought it to laboratory to understand what is the biology of this animal. And this is our team of students. We always go together to collect the specimens. And you can see this can also be considered as evil. You can see why it can be called as evil, because it can stop the power plant functioning, and also problem for the fisheries, and also in aquaculture, and tourism also problematic because of the harmful jellyfish. And we have a lot of jellyfish which is having the toxin. Because of this harmful jellyfish, some people may die. So that's why we say they are considered as evil jellyfish, affecting the power plant to stop, and which is completely stopped due to this invasion of this jellyfish, Nomurai jellyfish. So people, they studied about the life cycle to understand how to control at what season they are developing and coming and blocking all these power plants, and so many activities, fisheries activities are stopped. So people, they studied about the life cycle of Nemopilema nemurai. So all these problems are occurring in summertime. So in autumn time, the fertilized egg is released and they become planular stage. And different podocysts are formed, and these are found in all seasons. As per the research, they found in all seasons these polyps and podocysts. And then it becomes a strobella in the spring season. So depending on the season, in the water temperature, they are changing. The life cycle is moving forward. So spring season, they found the strobella, and also the next stage is ephira and become young medusa. So in summertime, they are growing like a 200 kilogram of jellyfish, which is really causing big damage to the power plant industries and fisheries sectors. So what are the consequences of Nemopilema plague, we can say? So nuisance to fisheries, in particular to net fisheries. So they are clogging and busting the fishing nets, decrease of fish catch, killing and spoiling the fish, stinging fishermen, increase of time and labor to remove all the medusae from the nets. That is a big problem. And increase of capsizing of trawl boats. Many boats are sunk in the water because of a larger size of this jellyfish. So in 2005, about like 100,000 complaints and reports on damage in fishery. So the estimated monetary loss was 30 billion Japanese yen, is equivalent to 300 million US dollars due to this Nemopilema plague. So these jellyfish blooms cause complete damage for the fisheries. So mass occurrences of several jellyfish species have been reported in coastal waters worldwide, especially in Asian countries. The blooms cause power plants to shut down in Philippines also, Japan, and they destroy the fishing gears, devour eggs and larvae of commercially important fish, injury to human by nematocysts. And you can see, this one is reported from Japan, moon jellyfish, which caused, you can see the complete blooming of moon jellyfish, that is Aurelia aurita, which caused the stopping of the thermal power plants in Japan, and also happened recently in Philippines. So that's why people, they wanted to study the life cycle, at what season it starts and how to control. That was the research is going on everywhere on the life cycle. And you can see this kind of jellyfish, it is blooming in Thailand and Philippines. And we have another problematic jellyfish. This is upside down jellyfish called Cassiopeia species. So this upside down jellyfish, they have the mucus. They release the mucus in the water, and they are freely floating on the surface of the water. So which is possessed with stinging structures called casiosomes. These are called casiosomes. These stinging cells, unknowingly, when people they go for the swimming, it was stung. So this is they reported as in Smithsonian National Museum Natural History newsletter. They reported as a stinging water. That's like a mystery, and they finally found these casiosomes, the stinging cells which was found on this Cassiopeia species, created problem for the people. And another jellyfish that is called flame jellyfish, Rhopilema esculentum, which is common edible jellyfish. Some people may have a reaction towards the stinging and they may develop the rash. So they are found in Western Japan, Yellow Sea, Bohai Sea, the East China Sea. You can collect from everywhere and used as a traditional Chinese medicine to treat arthritis, high blood pressure and asthma also. So other species, we have a lot of species in Rhopilema. And we have harmful and deadly jellyfish. This is the first one, Indo-Pacific Portuguese man of war, Physalia physalis. It has the siphonophore, the colonial animal of tiny specialized animals called polyps. It is found here, which is releasing the stinging cells, and when the stinging occurs, it's better to pour the hot water to remove the stinging cells for this Portuguese man of war. But still, research is going on exactly how to control it. And this is about the box jelly. Okay, there's a box jelly it was first described from Australia in 1956. The genus of the box jellyfish is Chironex, and it is coming under the family Chirotropidae. And they are highly venomous. It caused human fatalities. The symptoms are cardiac arrest and respiratory failure with acute pulmonary edema. Distribution: Central Indo-Pacific, Southern Japan to Northern Australia. So until 2009, it was just only one species. It was Chironex fleckeri, possessed with 12 to 15 tentacles. It was reported only in Australia, and later it was reported in Japan. That species was Yamaguchi, that is Chironex Yamaguchi. It was reported in 2009. And later in Thailand, another species was reported, that is Chironex Indra saxagiae, in 2018, and possessed with 10 to 12 tentacles. So the environmental parameters like salinity and temperature, they also could affect the movement of this jellyfish. So this species, it also has been reported in the coastal waters surrounding Kota Kinabalu. The locals, they are calling this jellyfish as balung api or ampi. So it is reported in the shallow waters with both sandy and muddy bottoms, being found in calm lagoons also, and also beaches with a shallow slope and mangroves area. So it is suspected that this species is distributed widely throughout the state due to reports of serious envenomation events consistently with stinging cases of Chironex species. So the identity of the Chironex species is not very clearly found, but we reported as this one, Chironex Yamaguchi. Okay, so you can see that because of this stinging, you can see the ladder-like, shoelace-like pattern. This is the stinging pattern of the Chironex jellyfish. This is the Chironex. You can see. So this problem is occurring in Japan, Okinawa area, and also in Australia, and also here in Malaysia, Thailand, Philippines, Southeast Asian waters. They found with this Chironex species. People should be very careful of this animal. And this is the one you can see. See, in Lahadatu, it was reported just on the shore. You can see this Chironex collected from several parts of the Sabah. This is Chironex. Of course, you should not touch it, but just for the identity, we are showing touching the bell and showing these tentacles. It is possessed with a lot of nematocysts. And when it is stinging, you can see here, this kind of problem comes. So this is, Chironex species we are often found from these waters. And a lot of death cases are reported. So from Kota Belud, this one, I think the girl died due to this jellyfish stinging. A Japanese boy in 2013, he was stung by this Chironex. And in Kudat, we found a lot of this Chironex species. And last year, one guy, he was stung by this jellyfish and later recovered. And we reported this case in the newspaper. There's a jellyfish invasion, Chironex species. You can see the another example of this ladder-like markings. This is a typical Chironex stinging case. You can see this video of the moving of Chironex. So it was reported from Gudat.
Chironex. My God. So many. So many.
Where is it?
Wow. Everywhere.
So this is identified as Chironex yamaguchi through our molecular work. And how it works means this tentacle are possessed with nematocysts. We are having a lot of nematocysts. One tentacle can kill a human being. So such a powerful nematocyst it has. Once these tentacles are just touched by the human being or any animal, this you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 this figure. So the nematocysts are like this. Inside there is a tubule, and this tubule is having the toxin. And once it is touched by any other animal, prey or human beings, it is activated. And this tubule, it begins to come out. So here it opens and the tubule is coming out and it released. So this tubule is possessed with a lot of toxin and releases the toxin into the human skin. So once it is released means that's all. The toxin will quickly move into the body and it creates a problem. It can lead to the cardiac arrest if it is severe. So you can see this is a tubule, and you can see once it is activated, the tubule is coming like this. So this is an example. You can see how this tubule is activated and how it is releasing its the toxin like that. You can see here. So we just release something with these nematocysts, and nematocysts need to be activated. So something is touched on the nematocysts here. And you can see one by one, it is releasing that tubule which was inside, and it is released outside, and this edge, it is pierced into the skin and releasing the toxin. So this is what is going on when you touch the tentacle of the jellyfish, the nematocysts are activated and they are releasing the tubule, and the tubule, the toxin is released into your body. So some are not released, it means they are not stimulated, right? So whoever is getting touched with the kind of a stimulation, they are responding. They just release the toxin. The tubule is released and the toxin will be injected into the prey or the human being. So this is the nematocyst from another species that is called Chrysora chinensis. This is undischarged nematocyst. You can see the discharged nematocyst. The tubules are coming out. So each jellyfish is having different shape of nematocyst in the body. So that is a problem, when it is stinging, you can see the sign like shoelace or ladder pattern tentacle, which is the contact marking, and it will be having like intensively, it will be paining, and skin will be blistered, necrosis occurs, and sting dermatitis occurs. And systemic effects, we can say that altered sensorium due to excruciating pain, and cardiac arrest can happen, and respiratory system is spoiled, and hypersensitive like reaction will happen. So these are the cases recently is going on in Sabah. So we have to control it. How to control? That's what here it is showing. Like once you found like something is stinging here, you just immediately exit the water and try to pour the vinegar over the stinging area. So do not use fresh water or urine, as it will worsen the sting, and don't use anything, just vinegar you have to use it. And you can, if possible, try to remove the tentacles that are still stuck on the skin using the fingers, fingernails or tweezers like that. And do not rub the wound with sand, and immediately bring the victim to the nearest hospital. You have to go for the medical attention as early as possible. We also prepared this poster, and you can download this poster in EMS repository. We have uploaded there. You can just download it. So this is a prevention. Avoid the areas where jellyfish are known to occur, and look out for warning flags and signs, and do not enter the water if warnings are present. You have to wear protective clothing that covers the whole body so that you can escape from the jellyfish stinging like that. So all these things you need to do for the prevention. That is the most important thing you have to learn. So the first aid, that is the most important thing. You have to go for the, if something problem, then you have to do the CPR and call the ambulance to go to the hospital. And many places on beaches, it's better to keep this kind of first aid box. So it is a vinegar. So many countries, especially Thailand, they are following vigorously everywhere. All beaches, they are keeping this kind of first aid boxes with the vinegar bottles. This is in University Saints Malaysia's that area, that beach, and they are keeping the warning signboard. And this one, it happened in the Philippines. So the Filipinos, they know that jellyfish are common here, but still unknowingly, the actress Annie Curtis, when she was doing modeling work, and she was stung by the jellyfish, and you can see the like a problematic area, total jellyfish stung. And this is called sea bathers eruption. This is another jellyfish which is called Linuche aquila, which is a very small one. This Linuche is a very small species, around like 4 millimeter size, maybe like 2 to 6 millimeter size you can find, which is causing the problem sea bathers eruption. So we went to Kudad and found the specimens abundantly in a particular area. This is called thimble jellyfish, Linuche aquila. Thimble jellyfish, very small size, but it can cause the eruption, that is called sea bathers eruption. You can see this video.
Wow, kadagan sa jellyfish. Where are you going? Huh? Matagak pa lang ko. Wow, kadagan sa jellyfish. Where are you going? Huh?
So it is causing this kind of problem, that is a sea bathers eruption. All over body will be itching and completely like reddish body, you can see here. Should be very careful when you enter the sea. So you can see this ephira of this linuche. And this one we discovered a kind of a new species, but still we have not published it, from KK waters. That is Chironex one. You can see the difference. This is the main difference of these 4 species. So we found a lot of jellyfish species in Sabah. They are showing like Chironex emaguchi, Physalia, Sundaria malayensis. This is Acrometus. This is Catostylus, Crambion, Linuche, Lobonemoids, Aurelia, Aquaria species, Anomalariza, Bero, Cassiopeia, Mastigias, Papua, Netrostoma, Philorhiza punctata, Thysnostoma thysnora. These are the species recently we found from Sabah and reporting. And why this jellyfish population is increasing? So we can say that due to the habitat modification. According to Richardson et al. 2009, habitat modification which creates a more polyp habitat, and also the translocation. So by ships, the water, the ballast water is exchanged. It is released from one place to another place. So through that, they are exchanging the polyp stages. And also the overfishing. Overfishing, it can be resulted in reduced predation, and also the competition for the jellyfish is reduced. That's why the jellyfish can be blooming like anything. And eutrophication. So it increases the primary production, which leads to the better food condition for jellyfish. And climate change. Warming accelerates the jellyfish reproduction. The tropical jellyfish, it could expand to the temperate latitudes also. So that is the problem for the jellyfish blooming. So I can conclude that the population outbreaks, which is increasingly prominent worldwide in recent decades, it might be due to the enhancement of anthropogenic impacts or the climate changes. However, true causes of them still under investigation, which is not clear. And jellyfish science is still in infant stage and is not much completed compared to the fishery science. So the jellyfish science should be advanced to cope with current proliferation of jellyfish in order to maintain fish productive, healthy marine ecosystem and to prevent from potential human public health problems. And these are the issues and importance of the jellyfish. So issues like mainly like a venomous jellyfish, which affects the tourism, and blooming, which affects the sea transportation, power plants, power stations, and aquaculture, and also sea baths eruption, and also Irkonji syndrome. And sometimes these blooms are beneficial for small-scale fishermen as they provide additional income because they can take the jellyfish and do the processing work. And jellyfish lakes like tourism magnets in Indonesia. And jellyfish has low calorific values, negligible fat contents, and rich in protein and minerals. And jellyfish collagen, which can be utilized for the nutraceutical purposes, cosmetic purpose, and oral formulations and functional food. And jellyfish collagen has antioxidant properties. So many countries, they are doing a lot of research on collecting collagen from the jellyfish. So normally these are the species can be reported often from Southeast Asia, that is Opilema hispidum, Lobonemoids robustus, and Aurelia aurita. And these species ever known to be present and ubiquitous during each blooming season. You cannot miss this species. So all in all, the tropical countries like Southeast Asia face envenomation issues and consequences of bloomings every day, like every year, evenly. So according to Fender and Williamson in 1996, Malaysia and Philippines face 2 to 3 deaths a year and 20 to 40 deaths a year respectively due to stings from chironic species, but now it is slowly increasing. So incidents like this do not affect livelihood of those living within the vicinity of coastal areas, but they may also affect the tourism industry if stinging cases are not managed properly. For good measures, tourism operators should be transparent in promoting countries with high stinging cases and produce educational brochures available in different languages so that tourists may be aware of everything. So lessening activities at the beach during dry season is also an effective course of action in reducing the possibilities of human contact with jellyfish tentacles, as jellyfish tend to be more dispersed towards the coastal zones. So they play a major role in Southeast Asian fishery commodity, as stated by Broad's 2016. In the year 2013, Indonesia, Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam had landed a total of 273,000 tons of jellyfish. So the largest producer in that year was Thailand, followed by the Philippines. So according to the Veron et al., the current value of the coral triangle amounts to approximately $2.3 billion per annum, only in that area. So as we approach 2030, achieving the sustainable development goals, it takes a lot of effort, as two of the greatest challenges in this century are food security and loss of biodiversity. Hence, it is important to ensure optimum harvest of jellyfish while ruling out the possibility of overfishing, as Thailand and Indonesia are two of the top jellyfish producers in the world. So this is the field guide we produced this year, field guide to the jellyfish of Western Pacific. You can get it from University Sains Malaysia. You can contact Professor Aileen. She's one of the editors for this book, and we all contributed from the Western Pacific, all contributed a lot of information on this field guide. So I have to thank my collaborators, especially Westpac. We are all highly involved. IOC Westpac with USM University Science Malaysia. We are involved in jellyfish research intentionally, and this is our research group. I have to thank several doctors and my collaborative professors from different universities and hospitals. So children need to be very careful when they are playing in the open waters, especially in the dry season. Thank you. Thank you very much. most of the organisms are using bioluminescence, and many jellyfishes are having that bioluminescent properties. Yes.
Very useful answer, Prof. And then we have another one, Prof, from Parvena AP. Okay, so the question is, can a jellyfish live forever?
Yes. Yes, I talked here,
Very
immortal jellyfish.
useful
So the immortal
answer,
jellyfish,
Prof.
it is a
And
very
then
small in size.
we have another one,
So
Prof,
it was identified
from
in 1880s
Parvena
itself,
AP.
but we couldn't
Okay,
find many all
so
over
the
the world.
question is,
So one
can a
particular scientist
jellyfish
in
live
Japan, his name is
forever?
Kubota Sensei. Yes, he's working only here, immortal
Very
jellyfish.
useful
So and this
answer,
immortal
Prof.
jellyfish, is
And
it
then
is having a
we have
particular
another one,
substance.
Prof,
It was
from
identified in it can be
Parvena
useful for the
AP.
human being.
Okay,
To
so
reduce
the
our
question
age.
is,
One
can a
particular scientist
jellyfish
in Japan,
live
his name is
forever?
Kubota Sensei. Yes, he's working only here, immortal
Very
jellyfish.
useful
So the and this
answer,
immortal
Prof.
jellyfish,
And
it is
then
having a
we have
particular
another one,
substance.
Prof,
It was
from
identified in it can be
Parvena
useful for the
AP.
human being.
Okay,
To
so
reduce
the
our
question
age.
is,
One
can a
particular scientist
jellyfish
in Japan,
live
his name is
forever?
Kubota Sensei. Yes, he's working only here, immortal
Very
jellyfish.
useful
So the and this
answer,
immortal
Prof.
jellyfish,
And
it
then
is having a
we have
particular
another one,
substance.
Prof,
It was
from
identified in it can be
Parvena
useful for
AP.
the human being.
Okay,
To
so
reduce
the
our
question
age.
is,
One
can a
particular scientist
jellyfish
in Japan,
live
his name is
forever?
Kubota Sensei. Yes, he's working only here, immortal
Very
jellyfish.
useful
So the and this
answer,
immortal
Prof.
jellyfish,
And
it
then
is having a
we have
particular
another one,
substance.
Prof,
It was
from
identified in it can be
Parvena
useful for
AP.
the human being.
Okay,
To
so
reduce
the
our
question
age.
is,
One
can a
particular scientist
jellyfish
in Japan,
live
his name is
forever?
Kubota Sensei. Yes, he's working only here, immortal
Very
jellyfish.
useful
So the and this
answer,
immortal
Prof.
jellyfish,
And
it
then
is having a
we have
particular
another one,
substance.
Prof,
It was
from
identified in it can be
Parvena
useful
AP.
for the human being.
Okay,
To
so
reduce
the
our
question
age.
is,
One
can a
particular scientist
jellyfish
in Japan,
live
his name is
forever?
Kubota Sensei. Yes, he's working only here, immortal
Very
jellyfish.
useful
So the and this
answer,
immortal
Prof.
jellyfish,
And then
it is having a
we have
particular
another one,
substance.
Prof,
It was
from
identified in it can be
Parvena
useful
AP.
for the human being.
Okay,
To
so
reduce
the
our
question
age.
is,
One
can a
particular scientist
jellyfish
in Japan,
live
his name is
forever?
Kubota Sensei. Yes, he's working only here, immortal
Very
jellyfish.
useful
So the and this immortal jellyfish,
and
it
then
is having a
we have
particular
another one,
substance.
Prof,
It was
from
identified in it can be
Parvena
useful for
AP.
the human being.
Okay,
To
so
reduce
the
our
question
age.
is,
One
can a
particular scientist
jellyfish
in
live
Japan, his name is
forever?
Kubota Sensei. Yes, he's working only here, immortal
Very
jellyfish.
useful
So the and this immortal jellyfish,
and then
it is having a
we have
particular
another one,
substance.
Prof,
It was
from
identified in it can be
Parvena
useful for the
AP.
human being.
Okay,
To
so
reduce
the
our
question
age.
is,
One
can a
particular scientist
jellyfish
in
live
Japan, his name is
forever?
Kubota Sensei. Yes, he's working only here, immortal
Very useful
jellyfish. So the and this immortal jellyfish, it is having a particular substance. It was identified in it can be useful for the human being. To reduce our age. One particular scientist in Japan, his name is Kubota Sensei. Yes, he's working only here, immortal jellyfish. So the and this immortal jellyfish, it is having a particular substance. It was identified in it can be useful for the human being. To reduce our age. One particular scientist in Japan, his name is Kubota Sensei. Yes, he's working only here, immortal jellyfish. So the and this immortal jellyfish, it is having a particular substance. It was identified in it can be useful for the human being. To reduce our age. One particular scientist in Japan, his name is Kubota
Do
Sensei.
jellyfish attack other fish for food, or do they just eat something else? That's the
Yeah, it's
question, Prof.
yeah, it's a good question. I mean, jellyfish. I mean, even I saw in the YouTube chats, people, many people, they were giving good answers. I saw
Do
good answers there.
jellyfish attack
So
other
according to its
fish
mouth,
for food,
according to its
or
oral arm,
do
they
they
will catch.
just eat
According to the size of
something
the
else?
fish, the jellyfish, they will eat small fishes. So when the size of the jellyfish is very big, they may take the big fish. So they can eat fishes, plankton, juvenile fish, larval stages of fish. That's why we are worrying. Suddenly you go to Sabah waters, Kota Kinabalu, anywhere. Suddenly, if you see lot of jellyfish on in the sea, then you have to worry because they all need food. They will take the basic food of the ocean, that is plankton.
They will take all plankton, juvenile stages, everything, and because of that, the fish number will be reduced. That's why we worry when jellyfish is blooming occurs. Suddenly, a lot of jellyfish mates. So they may eat everything because they can eat all kind of substance. We can depending on its mouth size. Yeah.
Wow, interesting to know, Prof. No wonder if once they are the bloom season, jellyfish bloom, they will give notifications in the media and so on. Yeah, Prof. Okay, so it's very serious if they have the bloom season. All right, thank you, Prof. Two other questions. One is from Siti Zaina. So she is asking, is there no side effects when we eat jellyfish? So that's
Yeah,
the question.
yeah, good question, good question. No problem. It depends on our body. Suppose if you eat something and if it is not accepting for your body, then that is a problem.
So
But some people, it will be
she's
accepted.
asking,
Any
is
kind of
there
food,
no
same thing.
side
As like
effects
that, this
when we
jellyfish
eat
also. Maybe
jellyfish?
you have to test
So
and check.
that's the question.
If it is okay for your body, then it is okay. Because when I eat jellyfish, it's very nice, no problem at all. Because whenever we go to restaurants and in conference, even in the conference time, we are served with a lot of jellyfish food, and it's delicious. We are enjoying it. We are asking again and again to serve the jellyfish food. So it depends on our body. Generally, we can say there is no any problem on jellyfish eating. Whenever we go to restaurants
Right,
and
Prof.
in
Again,
conference,
Prof.
even in
Maybe
the
they can have
conference time, we are served
allergy
with a
test
lot of
before
jellyfish
they
food.
try
So
on
it is delicious.
eating,
We are
Prof.
enjoying
Okay,
it. We are
let's try
asking
it out.
again and again.
So we
Yeah.
can suggest that for them. And then, okay, the last one, Prof. Question from Berto Elbot also. So the question is, what is the
Prof. Maybe
most
they can have
dangerous type of
allergy
jellyfish?
test before
Maybe
they
they are
try
interested
on
eating, Prof.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Okay,
what I said.
let's try it out.
We have
So we
lot of
can
jellyfish.
suggest that for them.
One
And then,
particular jellyfish I can
okay,
tell
the
you
last
that
one,
is
Prof. Question from Berto Elbot
Nemorai
also.
jellyfish. It is
So
considered
the question
tempting to
is, what
cancer.
is the
Prof. Maybe
most
they can
dangerous
have
type of
allergy
jellyfish?
test before
Maybe
they
they are
try
interested
on
eating,
affecting
Prof. Okay,
our plant,
let's try it out.
we have
So we
lot of
can
jellyfish.
suggest that
So
for
when it is
them.
one
And then,
particular jellyfish, we will
okay, the
have
last one,
millions
Prof.
of
Question
Nemorai
from Berto Elbot also.
everyone is
So
like
the question is, what is the
Prof. Maybe
most
they can have
dangerous type of
just
allergy
jellyfish?
test
invade
before
and
they
They are
try
attach
on
on the
eating, Prof.
that
Okay,
power plant area
let's try it out.
lots of
So we
lot of
can
jellyfish.
suggest that
So
for
many
them.
problems
And
for
then,
everyone. Industry,
okay, the last one,
there
Prof.
are lot of problems.
Question from
Same way
Berto
for the
Elbot
fishery. They
also.
also
So
spoil
the
the
question
fishing
is, what is the
Prof. Maybe they
so
can
that's
have
related to the
allergy test
ecosystem and
before
also
they
for the
try
economy.
on
And related to the human being, we have the box
so we
jellyfish.
can suggest
Box
that for them.
jellyfish,
And then,
which is called, it is like a
okay, the
cube
last one,
shape. That's
Prof.
why it is called box
Question
jelly.
from
Same way for
Berto
the
Elbot
fishes,
also.
like
So
umbrella.
the
It is like a
question
cube
is,
shape,
what is
four like that.
maybe they
So
can
that's
have
related to the
allergy
box
test before
and
they
also for the
try
economy.
on
Tentacles carries lot of nematocysts. That is a toxic substances. When it releases the toxic, so the man can die in 2 to 5 minutes. The fishes like so that kind of toxicity like that. Box jelly. So we should be very careful with box jelly. And especially in Australia, they have Chironex fleckeri. And even recently, there was a death of 18 years old man. He was just swimming inside the sea and he was stung by this Chironex fleckeri. And there was no any first aid and nothing. There were no hospitals and he died. So we should be very careful. In our area, Malaysia, we have Chironex Yama fleckeri, another species. And that also possesses the toxin. And if it is stung, definitely the death. And I am telling you very recently, just 10 days before, one boy he died, one girl he died in Sempona. And before that, in 2019 December, that December in Kotabelur, I think Kotabelur, one girl died, 7 years old girl died because of just Chironex. So you should be very careful. Chironex box jellyfish is really dangerous, and whenever you're going for the swimming, you should be very careful to cover the body and try to have vinegar. So that is the number one first aid thing you are going to use it if there is any jellyfish occurs. So try to have vinegar in here whenever you are going for the beach. Whenever you are going for the beach or the ocean anywhere, try to take the vinegar and be careful because box jelly is a transparent thing. You cannot visualize easily. When you are swimming, you cannot see it. At the stung only, you'll be thinking, what? Suddenly something is stinging. Then you will see some animal moving, and it is not the fish will be paralyzed because of the nematocyst stinging, and slowly it will take into the mouth. At that time, if anyone will be swimming, at that time, this tentacle, it will be just touching on your body. Once it touches, it enters the nematocyst, increase the nematocyst into your body, will be paralyzed, and the nematocyst will be releasing a lot of toxin into the mouth system. So at that time, you should come out of the water and apply vinegar. If you apply the vinegar, it will stop whatever the unreleased nematocyst, it will not be released. So it will not be triggered, that will be stopped. Whatever is inside it is going, and that pain will be released. Not a also, and you have to cut all these stinging. So at that time, you come out because in Philippines, a boy was struck with what's called the stung by the jellyfish, and his mother went and used the hand and just removed all the water else stung with it. So both people were stung and admitted to hospital. This happened even last year because both are Philippines. So both mother and son, but they recovered. So you should be very careful whenever you are sending it to the hand and just remove all the water else.
Thank you very much, Prof. So actually, it's a very serious thing to consider if we are visiting the beach, right, Prof? So thank you for the tips, Prof. We should be getting some of the vinegar whenever we are going to visit. Thank you again, Prof. I think we can close the Q&A session for now, Prof. Thank you again for the very wonderful topic, and everyone is very entertained by the types of jellyfish and how they harm human, and also what are the applications and benefits that they come across to human. Thank you again, Prof. So yes, thank you again. So we thank to all the audiences today as well. We will share the link for you to register your names and your details. Please leave your full email so that we can send in your emails, your certificates. And thank you again, Prof, for the wonderful session today, Prof. Okay, and then don't forget to join us for the next STEM speaker series on 28th of June, next Monday, by Dr. Habib Musa of Faculty of Engineering with the topic of geotechnical engineering. Thank you again to Prof, and thank you for everyone. It's a pleasure to have all of you today. And with this, we conclude the webinar today. We apologize for any communication problem or technical problem today. So please join us again for the next session. Thank you, Prof, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Prof. Okay, bye. We apologize for any communication problem or technical problem today. So please join us again for the next session. Thank you, Prof, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Join us again for the next session. Thank you, Prof, and thank you, everyone.